but you'll see some houses back behind the president's house. And so faculty have lived over there, sometimes staff members. There's an apartment in the back we'll see. And so you all may know the story of John Wesley Rice Sr., who in the 19 teens, he came to what was then the Tuscaloosa, the Stillman Institute, and he started his education. The story goes that he paid for his first semester with cotton. And he learned that there's some other folk got a scholarship. He was like, well, how do some of these guys around here have a scholarship? He said, oh, those people with scholarships are trained to be Presbyterian ministers. And after John Wesley Rice Sr. heard that story, he prayed and asked for God's guidance. And the Lord told him he was called to be a Presbyterian minister. So he got his scholarship. He had a son, John Wesley Rice Jr., who became the Dean of Students here, 1966 to 69. John Wesley Rice Jr. had a daughter with an interesting name, Condoleezza. And so they lived on campus here for a few years, and they started Westminster Presbyterian Church in the 1940s. John Wesley Rice Sr. and Jr., so we got some members of Westminster here. Yes. And and if there's a story about some of that at a Presbyterian link about Rice and alums and so forth. In addition to Shepherd Rice, the former co-moderator Gregory Bentley, co-moderator of the Presbyterian Church, he's a Stillman alum. He was moderator, I think for 2020, 2022. Anybody remember? Those of you who keep up with General Assembly business. He's also speaking for us in our Founders Day next Thursday. Okay? So Founders Day is for us next week. So obviously this is Shepherd Library. There's a picture of Shepherd in there. And I guess we let him peek in. Library. You know, we can try. We can round up our group.
The head librarian is a member of our congregation, so if she's not,
yeah,
I'm sure she'll do it.
So, and sometimes we've had commencement out here with the stage being the library with the pillars.
Nice.
Put chairs here, put white chairs out here. And so we've had it here, we've had it in Birthright Alumni Hall, and we've also had it in the back in the football field because you already got the seating. Apparently what the people tell me is that it costs a lot of money to rent a lot of hundreds of white chairs to put out on the lawn. So that's what ruling elders take care of, right? So sometimes I think there's a desire to it's beautiful here under the magnolia trees, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So just know commencement, the rain plan, when it's outside, the rain plan is there in Birthright Alumni Hall. And then sometimes we have it, the last few years we've had it in the back with the football field. So this is the Hay Center where we had lunch. The Hay Center was built in 65 and then redone and added on to in 2002. Where we wanted to initially have our meeting was in that space in the bottom, but there's some maintenance work going on. The activity center in the bottom is named for Constance Stinson, the wife of the first African-American president, Harold Stinson. So you see the Harold Stinson Mathematics Building. He was the first African-American president, and his wife, Constance Stinson, they have an area named for her. She was one of the first African-Americans in real estate in Tuscaloosa. And everyone who knows her, they were both members of the church, and people have said that Constance Stinson was a saint. You know, everyone has described her as a saint. Did you get to know her a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And that fits?
Yes.
Yeah, that she was a saint. So, first African-American president. That's Bachelor Hall. Bachelor was an administrator in the Southern Presbyterian Church, so that's another building named after a person who was a white administrator in the Southern Presbyterian Church. And so that's Bachelor Hall. But then you got Stinson named after the first African-American president. Then of course Shepherd Library named after William Shepherd. And then Hay, this is named after the last white president, Samuel Hay. And he was president in the 50s and helped the congregation to build a sanctuary, helped raise money from the denomination to build a newer, bigger seminary, which is bigger sanctuary, which is the record. This is Walter Bellingrath of Mobile, Alabama. from what I understand, he made money through Coca-Cola. Anybody know anything about Bellingrath Gardens in Mobile? Yeah. So he left money, he was Presbyterian, he left money to Stillman College and Rhodes College. And his wife was Methodist, so he also left money to Huntington College. Harold, I guess I'll say this on video, jokingly, Rhodes doesn't need its money from Bellingrath. So if you all know powerful people at Rhodes College, tell Rhodes College to give Stillman the Bellingrath money. Bellingrath's money helps fund our required religion courses. Every student has to take 4 courses in religion, Old Testament, New Testament, and any other 2 courses. And so some of the money that funds that, we report back, we get money from the Bellingrath Foundation, contributes to the education, religious education at the college. So this, yeah, you just caught him after some rain, but that's Walter Bellingrath, and again, we receive funds from his foundation. Question, so that's Winsboro Hall. You see it's in disrepair. Charles told you we need 13 million. So you got to win 100 million then in the lottery, and then just give us 15, right? Huh? That's right. Yeah, you know, yeah, and you can put your name on it. Put your name on the floor or something like that.
Is that classroom buildings or residence or what?
It's unused right now because it needs to be repaired.
Right, yeah.
But when it gets fixed, we want to make it a multi-use place, maybe with space for elderly housing, also with some student center things. One of our things is to work on intergenerational education. So we think we can have it as a place maybe where you have a part of it housing elders, and then students also interact with them, as you know, because we can learn how to talk to each other. You know,
When was it built?
It's the oldest building, 1922. You know, 1922. It's the oldest building, 1922. That bell is named after an alum. It was built in the 40s. It's the Strange Tower, built in 1983. It's in honor of an alum who passed away early. And so we have prayer sometimes during Founders Week. Next Wednesday, we sometimes have Wednesday prayer at noon here in front of the bell. Birthright Alumni Hall, you all know anything about the Birthrights? They were former slaves who lived in Missouri. They made a lot of money in business, and they left 500 plus acres to Stillman College in the 19-teens and the 1920s. And so that was the largest gift for a long time in the history of the college. But the Birthrights were African Americans, former slaves in Missouri. But they heard about Stillman College. They wanted to give money to an African American institution. So they gave over 500 acres, which of course was translated into money and so forth. And it was a big gift. So we have convocation there, sporting events there. The Christmas concert, the annual Christmas concert is there. So it's a beautiful place. It was refurbished and expanded about 10 years ago. And so it's a wonderful place. And come hang out with us for Founders Day next Thursday at 11 o'clock. We'll be in there. That's an administration building, Bachelor Hall. The provost is in that building. The business office is in that building. Financial aid is in that building. The president used to be in that building, then the president's office moved to the newest building in the back. But that's an administration building there. There's also some tutoring and things that goes on. There's a bottom floor a little bit underground there. Questions? Okay, yes.
The basketball team.
We're doing very good, and we've been very competitive for many, many years, have a really good reputation. So for a long time, from the 40s, 50s to 1999, basketball was it. And so we had basketball homecoming in the spring. And then we only had football from 99 to 2015. So some of our alums, our more recent alums, were spoiled by football homecoming. But some of the older alums remember that basketball was really the main thing for a long time. So and just, if you all know the finances of football, it's really expensive. And so as like a lot of places, enrollment is ticked down some, and just financially it's very hard to support football. But I go places, if I wear a Stillman shirt to some place, people won't ask me about students, they don't ask me about enrollment, when is football coming back? And I tell them like I do, when you win the lottery, then you can finance football. But people, only the best top schools like Alabama, LSU, only those places make money from football. Even the big universities, they barely break even with sports. Yeah, and you all Google that, double check me, email me if I'm wrong. Okay, I can be fact checked. Huh?
What's the enrollment now?
Now it's about 750 to 800. I think at our height in the early 2000s, we were about 1,200, 1,300. Questions? Okay, so can you be trusted, O saints of God, to go into the library for 5 minutes and see Shepard's picture, and there's a little room dedicated to Shepard, and then we come back out in 5 minutes?
And be very quiet?
For students often don't study in the library anymore. They're somewhere on the phone, on a desktop in their room. So let's meet back in front of the library at 4:45. We can do that? Yeah? Okay. All right. You promise?